Hey, it's been a while. So a while ago, I made an Iceberg about an obscure manga series known as Cyborg Kuro-chan, and I decided to make a video about it. I'm sure you've seen those iceberg videos before, but if you haven't and don't know what an iceberg is, basically the tiers at the top of the iceberg are the most common things about the main topic. The deeper you go down the iceberg, the more obscure and stranger they get. Cyborg Kuro-chan is an action comedy series about a house cat named Kuro, who was turned into a cyborg. It was a huge success in the late 90s and early 2000s. It spawned a collection of video games, merchandise, and more. Today, I'm going to talk about the many rabbit holes of the Cyborg Kuro-chan series through this iceberg. Before this video begins, however, I want to note a few things. I will be skipping a few entries of the iceberg, as I don't have to say a lot about them. Also, since episode 66 was never dubbed, when I will be talking about the dubs or international versions related to the anime, I will refer all episodes as all 65 episodes. Anime. Cyborg Kuro-chan was adapted into an anime produced by Piba and Studio Bogi. 66 episodes aired across different TV Aichi affiliated channels and a few other networks in Japan, starting from October 2nd, 1999 and ending January 6, 2001. It was originally going to end with 26 episodes in March 2000, but due to how successful the anime was, it was extended twice. Manga. The manga, which is where Cyborg Kuro-chan began, was created by Naoki Yokouchi. Beginning serialization in September 1997, the manga was also a success. It was serialized in Kodansha's Comic Bomb Bomb magazine. The manga concluded with 56 chapters in December 2001. It was then released across 11 manga volumes from 1998 to 2002. The manga is available both digitally and physically, but its translations are much harder to find. Cantonese and French are available in their entirety, while others like German and Mandarin are still lost with only some of their content surviving. Episode 66. The 66th episode of the anime is one of the most well-known parts about the anime. Airing on January 6, 2001, it is the only episode to never air outside of Japan. The episode wasn't rebroadcast for years and it was lost. That was until 2016 when ATX aired the episode. While the episode wasn't broadcast overseas, some international promos of it do exist at the end of episode 65. It's most likely due to the episode airing after the bankruptcy of Piba and Studio Bogi. The episode has 3 different versions. The first version is where the ending dialogue is replaced by a goodbye screen before the closing credits. This version is the most common version as it appeared in streaming releases and recent TV broadcasts. The second version also cuts the ending dialogue, but after the credits roll, however, a promo for rebroadcast of the first 12 episodes in order to fill in the unfinished episodes caused by the bankruptcy appears. It was known as Cyborg Kuro-chan Selection. The third version is said to have aired in some regions of Japan, and it's also been said to have the ending dialogue intact, as well as a promo for episode 67. However, no footage exists for the third version, so it's unconfirmed if there really is a promo for episode 67. Tomy. Tomy was Kuro's master toy company, releasing several pieces of merchandise like keychain plushies, motor control toys, and most importantly, bendable figurines. Released during the series' peak, most merchandise from Tomy was released exclusively in Japan, although there were some released in different countries, such as Latin America and Hong Kong. They also made plushes that were only released in Hong Kong. Studio Bogi and Public and Basic. Studio Bogi and Piba were the companies that produced the Kuro anime, with Piba being the producers and Bogi being in charge of the animation. They later shut down after bankruptcy. Several issues behind the scenes involved the anime. Based on message boards from old websites and a blog post about Ichizu Kobayashi, Piba seemed to be overly ambitious about this show, quoting as far as to say about making as big as Doraemon and Pokemon. However, they were a smaller and lesser known company. Even when decline signs started to show up, as well as cutting corners, they ended up with 600 million yen in debt and shut down along with Studio Bogi. Bogi was involved in a lot of Public and Basic productions. There's a quote by animation director Hiyoshide suggesting the conflicts between the two companies, possibly not paying animators. The bankruptcy caused a huge impact on the series, such as TV Aichi, who broadcasted the anime, only have the episodes in their archives and discarding commercials, limited distributions through streaming services, and only the first 53 episodes receiving a home media release in Japan. English dub. The English dub is one of the most sought after dubs of the anime. Dubbed by Omni Productions in Hong Kong in 2001, the English dub aired on TV2, and the first 14 episodes were released on VCDs by Speedy Video in Malaysia in 2002. The dub would later air on Animax Asia from 2004 to 2006. Only episodes 3 to 12 are available, and episode 11 is incomplete due to an audio glitch. For the longest while, we had no information on the casting or production until Yui Senpai TV got in contact with Kuro's VA, Sean Cleven, and Dr. Go's VA, Colin Sewell, who is also the director and the writer. Some clips can be found through other dubs, like the Vietnamese dub, which is based on the English dub. For example, the scene in episode 1 where Go attacks Kuro and Puli has Kuro's meows from the English dub. The rest of the dub is unavailable, unfortunately. Video games by Konami. Cyborg Kuro-chan is also known for video games, specifically the first 3 published by Konami. The first video game released on March 23, 2000 for the Game Boy Color, and its sequel on October 19 of the same year. Both of these were based on the anime and were on-rails platformers/shooters. The third game, developed by Aspect, was released on PlayStation on November 21, 2002. It is a scrollless shooter with more varied gameplay, and features an original story with more influences from the manga. Their ROMs have been shared online, though very little documentation of their assets exists outside of the music. The cutscene dialogue from the PS1 game has been read and shared on the internet. Censorship. The series had several instances of censorship, most notably in the anime. For example, Dr. Go attacks Puli and Kuro by shooting arrows at them, while in the anime it was changed to a missile. However, the anime wasn't the only one to have an edited scene out. A reference to Snoopy in the manga was edited out in the reprints. Arcs such as the Kid arc received heavy changes in the anime due to how graphic it gets in the manga. In the Arabic dub by Venus Centre, the references to love were edited out, and in the 2020 rebroadcasts, Megumi was given purple tights due to her design being a little too revealing. Cantonese dubs. In Hong Kong, there were 2 Cantonese dubs of the anime, one that aired on TV and another that was released on VCD. The first dub aired on TV Big Jade on December 8, 2000, and it was broadcast in the early 2000s. The dub would go on to air on Animax Hong Kong starting from 2004 and ending in 2006. In December of 2013, the dub would later re-air on TVB Kids up until 2014. All 65 episodes were dubbed and are available to watch on the internet. The second dub released exclusively on video CDs by Panorama Hong Kong in February 2001, during the anime's original air on TVB Jade. The VCDs would feature both dub versions and sub versions. Unlike the Cantonese TV dub, however, only the first 52 episodes were dubbed. All episodes from that dub are also available to watch. Arabic dub. The Arabic dub aired on Spacetoon, as well as other channels like Al Aula, in the mid-2000s to the early 2010s, with rebroadcasts occurring on Spacetoon in 2020. As mentioned before, love scenes in the dub were edited, as well as Megumi's design in the rebroadcasts. All 65 episodes were dubbed, and most of them have been found, except for episodes 37 and 41. The dub also saw a DVD release, and was separated in 2 parts, with one part containing the first 36 episodes. The dub was also released on VHS as well. Mondo TV. Mondo TV is the distributor for the anime in Europe. Having the rights to the series as early as 2001 from Hanshin Corporation, all of the episodes, except for 66, are available on their YouTube channel, in Japanese and Russian. What's weird about them is that they only have the first 46 episodes in Greek, the first 13 episodes in Italian, and they don't have any uploads on the other dubs like Croatian and Ukrainian. Extra Battle. Extra Battle was a spin-off manga that was featured in Comic Bonbon starting in December 2002 issue and ending in December 2005. It was written and illustrated by Junta Uchida, who also did several pieces of fan art for the anime before going to work on Extra Battle. 2 manga volumes of 36 chapters were released in 2005 and 2006. The chapters were printed in the Bonbon issues, while the manga was printed in black and white. There are no digital releases of it, nor any reprints. It seems to be rarer than the original manga. Indonesia is the only country to get a translation of the spin-off. Indonesian dub. Cyborg Kuro-chan was very popular in Indonesia, but its Indonesian dub was poorly documented. The Indonesian dub was released on VCDs in 2002 and would later air on Trans TV, Antv, and Space in Indonesia. All 65 episodes were dubbed in Indonesian. Some promos from season around the late 2000s feature clips of episode 32. Only episodes 1 to 18, minus episode 14, as well as episodes 48, 50, 53, and an incomplete recording of episode 42 exist online. Spanish LA dub. The Latin American Spanish dub was a similar case to the Indonesian dub, where the series was popular but was poorly archived over the years. The dub started airing in 2001 on several networks across different countries. It's unknown how many episodes were dubbed, but it's assumed that around 50 to 52 episodes were dubbed. Promos from CHV, ETC, and Azul TV exist. Only complete copies of episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 11, 17, and 18, as well as an incomplete copy of episode 1 have surfaced online. The rest of the dub is unavailable. Lost episodes. 78 episodes were planned to air, but due to the aforementioned bankruptcy, it was abruptly cut down to 66. However, we do have some info on some unaired episodes, and the said info comes from the model sheet or promotional artwork from Telemaga. Episode 67, A Mysterious Yeti Appears, was planned to air on January 13th of 2001. The plot for this episode and the other unaired episodes is unknown, but there is some info from model sheets and magazine promotions. 4 new characters would have been introduced. A Yeti leader, another Yeti, a queen ant, and some worker ants which will use the Yeti's bodies as home. The Yeti would live in a cave in the mountains behind Sakuramachi Elementary School, and the Yeti leader would emit destructive rays from his eyes. There would have also been a scheme with Suzuki scenes having a snow fight. Suzuki wearing his pajamas from episode 64, plus a new winter outfit, Dr. Go wearing his soldier outfit from episode 36, me using his jetpack. A promo of the episode was rumored to have aired after episode 66, but only on some channels. The episode was most likely in the audio mixing stage. Episode 68, Rival of Qatar, would have aired on January 20th, 2001. Most of the info comes from a blog post as well as a Telemaga promo. A 2016 meetup in Asagaya Love Day between series director Nobuhiro Takamoto and VS Chika Sakamoto, Toru Furusawa, and Makiko Omoto is where most of the info came from. A piece of artwork published in the February 2001 issue of TV Magazine includes some info on the plot. It would focus on a robot contest with Katara and another genius kid, Kintaro. Kintaro would eventually use his robots to cause chaos during the competition. It was meant to be a 2-part story with episode 69. The episode was not confirmed to have made it in the voice acting stages. Episode 69, Kintaro's Revenge, was planned to air on January 27, 2001. This would have been a 2-part continuation to episode 68. The February 2001 Telemaga promo is based on these 2 episodes. The battle with Kitaro continues, and Kitaro eventually loses and turns over a new leaf, becoming friends with Kuro. It's unknown how far it made into production. Episode 70, Cosplay Girl Kaguya, would have aired on February 3rd, 2001. The only information comes from the March 2001 issue of TV Magazine. The plot focuses on Kitaro's sister Kaguya, who wants Kuro and friends to roleplay a video game for her. It's unknown if Kaguya is Kintaro's sister's actual name or an alter ego of sorts, but she's apparently interested in cosplaying and in-universe video games. Kuro and me dress up as Nyanko Magin and Dummy Magin, and a fight between them and Kaguya would have occurred in a sewer location. Episode 71, Did You Become a Devil? Gokun was planned to air on February 10, 2001. Only the title is known, and the original source of it is unknown. Based on that, we can assume that something would have happened with Dr. Go. Either being possessed by the devil from the previous episodes, or Go planning on going back to his world domination plans. CD/Lost Music. In Japan, the original soundtrack of Cyborg Kuro-chan sells some CD releases. The first release is a single CD that came out in November 1999, and it features both extended and instrumental versions of the opening and ending. There were 2 different versions recorded. The second CD release came out in June 2000, which not only has the extended versions of theme songs, but also a majority of the anime is background music and even 2 original songs sung by Kuro and Nana's VAs. The third CD release came out in November 2000, and the CD contains both the theme songs and the original songs by the anime VAs, as well as remixes of them. While none of the songs have been released, a lot of the songs are lost to time too. Some of the songs can be resurfaced or reconstructed through using dubs, such as the Next Time promo coming from the Greek dub, and reconstructed to the title card theme using the Russian voiceover. Home media releases. The anime first saw its home media release in the form of VHS in 2000. The first batch of VHS was released with the first 26 episodes. The second batch of releases, titled Cyborg Kuro-chan Great, released with episodes 27 to 53. There are also a few other releases like the OVAs, but we will get to them later in the video. Manga reprint. While X-Star Battle wasn't reprinted, the original manga did end up getting reprinted, both physically and digitally. 6 of these were released, and they included 9 chapters instead of 5. The releases are mostly the same, but with new cover art, as well as the aforementioned censorship revolving around Snoopy. Bonus chapters were also included. The reprints were released between November 2015 and April 2016. Goro Nagase. Goro Nagase is a boy Kuro and his friends befriend, and becomes close with Chieko Okada. However, Goro has struggles with his abusive father, and after getting injured, he temporarily becomes a cyborg. The notable thing is, the Goro arc is the only arc not to be animated, including Goro himself. Gatling Selection. The Gatling Selection and Gatling Selection Reloaded were compilation manga released in 2012 to gauge demand for reprints of the original manga. The first book features chapters 1, 5, 10, 11, 26, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 33, and a bonus chapter. The second book features chapters 13, 14, 15, 17, 19, 20, 21, 30, and 28. Their covers have been shared, but not the actual contents. The bonus chapters were also republished in new editions of Volume 3 and 5. Ending 2. The second ending theme, named Para Para Kuro-chan and sung by Lady Q under the Kyu alias, first appeared on the 62nd episode of the anime and was used up until episode 66. The second ending actually appeared in very few dubs of the anime, those being the Cantonese TV and Thai dubs. Collabs and references. Saikuro had a few references and collaborations with video game franchises. An early example is Kuro's cameos in Robopon. Kuro has been referenced in Robopon around the late 90s, from appearing in video games to merchandising. Kuro has also done collabs with Cat Busters in 2017, as well as with Metabots in 2022 and 2023. Russian dub. The Russian voiceover is one of the most infamous dubs of the anime. It aired on Detsuki Mir in 2009, and it was a voiceover featuring a narrator reading over the script. All 65 episodes have been shared to Mondo TV's YouTube channel, but there are 2 versions of the same dub. One is the online version which only features the narration, and another which only aired on TV and features both the narration and Japanese audio. The only clip that has surfaced online came from a Russian YouTuber reviewing the anime. Hindi dub. The Hindi dub is one of the most obscure dubs of the anime. It aired on Animax India and Sony TV in the mid-2000s, and then aired on Spacetoon India somewhere in the early 2010s. Not a single clip or episode has surfaced online. In 2021, Naoki Yokouchi, creator of the original manga, made a webcomic based on the first Game Boy Color game, as well as anime episodes 41, 42, 49, and 50. This form of Kuro, called Hyper Kuro, is heavily inspired by Shin Bosu Kuro, which only appeared in the anime. Arabic Basma dub. This was another dub that aired in the Middle East, but was produced for a more religious audience. It aired on Basma channel during the late 2000s, with the dub being temporarily available on Hadith TV in 2021. The dub excluded several episodes, including episodes that featured Megumi, and the dub featured a new audio track which removes the music and replaces it with sound effects. Most of the dub is intact, but episodes 4, 34, 40, 41, and 44 are missing. Italian dub. The Italian dub aired on some Mediaset channels throughout the 2000s and early 2010s. The dub also had 2 different versions, one having the episodes in full, and another that splits them into 2 parts. The episodes came from different sources. Episodes 1 to 13 came from Mondo TV's channel. 2-part versions of the first 31 episodes and the first part of episode 32 were available on YouTube for a while, but 14 and onwards were taken down. Episodes 32 and 65 came from a source that uses the Italian audio and Japanese video, but due to a mistake by the editor, episode 60 has no audio. The dub also features a new opening, and it is replaced with the original Japanese opening on Mondo's uploads. A version of it without a watermark has not surfaced online. The dub was also released on VHS and DVD. Animation International. Animation International are the distributors for the anime in Asia. They had the rights to this series around 2000, and they have access to several pieces of the anime's artwork. Kelly Chen's cover. During the time of Kuro's popularity in Hong Kong, a cover of the opening sung by Kelly Chen was produced. It saw some CD releases, appeared across various karaoke bars, and was even performed a few times on stage with mascots as 3 main cats. The Animax and TVB Kids used the original opening, but due to the licensing issues, only the original TVB Jade broadcast used the Kelly Chen cover. The TVB Jade opening also featured the same animation as the original opening, but uses Cantonese subtitles and text layered over it. This broadcast of the cover has yet to surface in its entirety. Pachinko. A pachinko machine was released on April 2001 by Okamoto Yuki and Tecmo. The machine is based on the anime and even borrows some assets from it. Several promotional videos promoted this machine, including a promo for it which surfaced on the VHS tape. Some low-quality gameplay of the machine surfaced from Okamoto Yuki's website, but one video featuring Nana was not archived. Sprites for the machine also haven't surfaced online either. Tagalog dub. Airing on IBC's Viva TV programming blog in 2002 to 2003, and on TV5 in 2004, the Tagalog dub is one of the rarest dubs of the anime. The dub not only features name changes of several characters, but it also has a new opening, which we will get into later. Clips of episodes 10 and 11 came from Kuren Suzuki's VA, Pokshola Gonzalez. Incomplete recordings of episodes 1, 10, 11, as well as a small clip of episode 40 without the audio, have been archived. Greek dub. A Greek dub for the anime produced in Romania, aired in Greece and Cyprus in the mid to late 2000s. The dub has been heavily criticized for its unnatural accents, tons of pitch shifting, and poor audio mixing. Mondo only have the first 46 episodes, and episodes 47 and onwards were recorded by a fan. Episodes 52, 59, and 64 are missing, however. The dub also saw some DVD releases in Greece. Special custom boxes. There were 4 different sets of figures and weapons called Special Custom Box that was released by Tommy. The first one featured Runaway Kuro, the second one featured Prototype Me, and the third one featured Shimbosu Kuro. There was also a set called Special Diorama Box, which featured the Gatai, with a few locations from the series. The boxes, except for Custom Box 3, would also come with stickers as well. Vietnamese dub. The Vietnamese dub aired on HTV3 in the late 2000s and early 2010s, and it was a dub based on the English dub. Lots of the voices are very similar to that dub, and it even takes some sound effects from it. Many episodes are found, but many episodes are also missing. Episodes 14, 40 to 41, 45 and onwards are lost. The dub's ending theme also has 2 different versions. One uses a cover of the ending theme in most episodes, but there's a rare version which only uses an instrumental over the original ending. Mascots and real-life events. There were several real-life events in Japan, and a select few countries, as well as 3 different Kuro mascots. Due to the variety of events, I'll just show them on screen. For the mascots, as said before, there were 3 of them, and they were from different countries. The first one is from Japan. This mascot appeared in a lot of events and even appeared in a commercial for the PS1 game. The second mascot is from Hong Kong and appeared at various conventions and awards across Hong Kong. The third mascot appeared in an anime-themed slot by MCOT in Thailand from 2002 to 2003. There were also meme mascots in the 3 countries. Hong Kong had a Matatavik mascot and Japan had a Dr. Go mascot. Taiwanese PC game. A PC game for the anime began development in February 2001 and released on October 4, 2002 by developer Lona Soft. The game is pretty similar to the PS1 game in terms of gameplay, but the art style takes heavy inspiration from the anime and even takes some assets from it. An online rip for the game has surfaced online, but it's missing the original soundtrack. Oh, and there might be different versions of the game as well as a possible sequel to it, who knows. Tide dub. The Tide dub of the anime first started on MCOT from 2002 to 2003, and later on Cartoon Club in 2013. All 65 episodes were released in the form of VCDs in 2002, and all of them have been archived. An interesting thing about the Tide dub is that in the MCOT airings, the title cards have been localized, unlike the VCD releases, where the Japanese title cards are recycled. Encyclopedia book. An encyclopedia book for the anime released on March 25th of 2000. It includes anime and manga information like the characters, weapons, locations, etc. While the covers of the book are common, very little of the actual content has surfaced online. Mandarin dub. The Mandarin dub of the anime was produced in Taiwan in 2001 and aired on different Taiwanese, Chinese, and Singaporean networks from the early to the late 2000s. VCDs of 65 episodes released in China in 2003. All 65 episodes have been archived. The Taiwanese broadcast from 2001 also feature a title screen for the opening. Croatian dub. The Croatian dub is one of the rarest dubs of the anime. It aired on Orlando from 2016 up until 2018. All 65 episodes were dubbed, and clips of episodes 9, 13, 20, as well as complete copies of episodes 38 and 60 used to exist, but they were taken down. Only a clip of episode 15 has surfaced online. TV Magazine. During the anime's run, Kuro was promoted in several magazines, including TV Magazine, or also known as Telemag. The magazine would feature promo art based on episodes, with the earlier editions including promos of the Tommy figures. Some have been documented, but most are missed. Rebroadcasts. The anime was rebroadcast on TV Aichi in 2011. 66 episodes were initially going to be broadcast, but was interrupted and only aired 49 episodes, probably due to episode 15 resembling the March Tohoku earthquake. The anime was later rebroadcast on ATX. All 65 episodes aired without any interruptions from 2014 to 2016. OVAs. There were two OVAs released in Japan. The first OVA, titled Cyborg Kuro-chan Encyclopedia, was a VHS released in Japan on May 26, 2000. It's a clip show of the anime serving as an introduction to the characters and locations of the show. Creditless versions of the opening and ending are also included. The full tape has been shared online. The second OVA, titled Cyborg Kuro-chan Special Weapon Collection Video, was available through a promotion where fans would collect tickets and trade them in order to get the video for free. It ran from July to October 2000, but since it was promoted in the Great Volumes 5 to 9, which were released after the promotion ended, it's unknown if the tape was ever released. Commercials. Numerous commercials aired during the anime's run. Plenty of them promoted the anime, but some commercials promoted the manga, the video games, the merchandise, and others. Some commercials are known to exist, but haven't been found yet. The TV trailer, commercials in the Nagoya region, a complete recording of the Tommy Special Custom Box 2 commercial, commercial for the first Game Boy Color game, and possibly more that have yet to be found. Korean dub. The Korean dub of the anime first aired on Daikyo Kids TV from 2004 to 2007, after the ban on Japanese media was lifted. For a while, only the opening, episode 15, and some telesnaps of episodes 4, 17, and 26 were available online. Until 2023, when the second end credits were posted to YouTube. As of writing this, a majority of the dub, except episodes 1, 2, 5, 62, 63, 64, and 65, is currently being shared on the internet. Cells or production materials. Many production materials from the anime have went out on different online stores, such as through online listings or auctions. Most of the content, such as cells, layouts, and drawings, as well as painted backgrounds, came from the first 53 episodes, which used cell painting for animation. However, none of the storyboards or scripts have surfaced. Only a front cover from episode 68 script, and a storyboard from episode 4 recycled as an additional sweat reference model sheet. Some model sheets have surfaced online, and some are still lost. Also, no drawings for many of the digital episodes have surfaced online, but that could be due to people not receiving their work back. Stimuli edits. In 2010, several scenes from episodes airing in Japan had edited scenes. Those edited scenes being slowed down, darkened, and even both. These edits were done in order to prevent seizures and epilepsy. The dubbed versions remain unedited, but episode 66 was not dubbed, meaning that unless a complete rebroadcast surfaces, the episode is only available through its stimuli edit. MCOT cover. In 2002, MCOT released a CD of tied covers of theme songs of shows that aired on the channel, including Kuro. Since the MCOT broadcasts were different than the VCD releases, but no video footage of these exist, It's unknown if the song was ever used in them. 1998 anime pitch. Very little is known about this anime pitch. A collection of drawings was posted on January 18, 2013, and the drawings are apparently dated to October 1998. It's believed that this was a cancelled early pitch by a now bankrupt company. The designs also reflect the looks of the characters from the first chapter of the manga, especially the Dr. Go. Uncredited. Some of the roles in the Sakura anime were left uncredited, such as animators and voice actors. Moving on. Kirby shift. After the cancellation of the Sakura anime, most of the staff moved on to work on Hoshino Kirby or Kirby Right Back at Ya, which first aired on October 6, 2001. Another thing is that, like with the Kuro anime, the Kirby anime was also affected by a bankruptcy. I wonder when will Kuro ever get a Blu-ray release? Junta Uchida. Junta Uchida was the writer and artist for the Extra Battle manga, but before doing work of it in 2002, she did lots of fan art on the series. From illustrations and short animations, to notebooks, stickers, charms, and more. She even drew human designs of Kuro and pals, way before Yokouchi did the current human designs. She also drew 2 doujins of Kuro and Matatabi, which thank goodness are safe for work. A lot of her art is documented, but a lot of it is lost too. It's believed that she's trying to distance herself from Saikuro, since she deleted most of her Saikuro-related art from her socials. It may also be the case why Extra Battle hasn't been re-released. Yokouchi's other works. While Yokouchi is mainly known for creating the Sakura manga, he also created some other works. Some examples include the Woody Ken manga, which was also serialized in Comic Bombom and even got reprints, Uchi no Gazu, and even a cancelled manga called Hot Air Project, which is notable for some of the characters and ideas being reused for the New World art. Space Tune Magazine. During the initial run of the anime in the Middle East, Space Tune would feature Kuro in the magazine known as Space Tune Magazine. He was added in some activities and other topic info in pages of the magazine, but most importantly, Space Tune would feature picture books for the anime in Arabic, starting with issue 69. They were basically 4-page long comics with redrawn shots of the anime. Some would even be 8 pages long, with 4 pages and 2 issues of the magazine each. Episodes 1, 3, 4, 14, 15, 17, 23, 25, and 33 were adapted into this format. But there's likely more episodes since most of the issues have been documented, with the exclusion of a handful of issues that currently remain undocumented. An interesting note is that some of the characters have slightly different names, such as Mii being Mook in the dub, while in the magazine being called Mo, and Manatabi being Vicky in the dub, while in the magazine being called Vicky. Bootlegs. Several bootlegs exist around the internet and are manufactured from different countries. From bootleg toys to bootleg home media releases. Sticker book. A sticker book was released by Kodansha on the 6th of July 2000. Only the front, back, few of its contents in an advertisement have surfaced online. Salbakuta opening. The Tagalog dub features a cover of the opening was sung by the rap group Salbakuta. Due to the recordings being in poor condition, it cuts out at times, making it incomplete. A reconstruction of it uses the original broadcast and a fan remix of it. Chinese picture books. In 2003, there were some picture books released in China, and they were based off the anime. All 65 episodes were adapted, and some contents of the books have been shared online. The books were also printed in both color and monochrome. There were also 8 picture book releases in 2008, which are a lot harder to find. Shonen Collection and Manga Power. Shonen Collection was the magazine the French translation of the original manga was serialized in, and Manga Power was the magazine for the German translation. I don't have much to say here, so let's move on. Indonesian and Thai coloring books. There were some coloring books that were released in Indonesia and Thailand, 8 coloring books released in Thailand by Nation Comics in 2003, and unknown for how many released in Indonesia. Both coloring books featured stickers, but only the front covers of some contents of the Indonesian book surfaced, and for the Thai books, only the front covers. Maggie Fu's cover. Maggie Fu was the singer of the Taiwanese Mandarin cover of the opening, and it was featured in a few of her album releases. However, an online copy of the song has yet to surface. It's also unknown if it was featured in the original Taiwanese broadcasts, Ukrainian voiceover. The Ukrainian voiceover aired on TVI from 2009 to 2010. This dub seems to be similar to the Russian TV broadcasts, with the dialogue being layered over the Japanese audio track. Unlike the Russian voiceover, however, this dub features 2 voice actors. All 65 episodes were most likely dubbed, but only a low-quality clip of episode 32 has surfaced. Bulgarian dub. A Bulgarian dub is said to exist, airing on BNT1 most likely in the early 2000s. Very little is known about this dub, aside from airing at one point on a programming block known as Million in One Wishes. Not a single episode or clip has surfaced. Early Game Boy Color version. In the December 1999 issue of Comic Bombo, there's an article for the strongest weapon design contest for weapon designs for the first Game Boy Color game, and the winner will receive an early ROM of the game. The page features early screenshots of the game, which do not appear in the final version. The ROM is unlikely to surface, since it's most likely in a private collection. Persian dub. A Persian dub of the anime is said to exist by someone who watched the dub. It's believed that it aired on the RIP TV1 in 2009. 25 episodes were dubbed and were edited down to 10 minutes accordingly. Some characters received name changes as well, which are similar to the Arabic dubs. The dub is most likely unauthorized too. Aside from that, no episodes or clips have surfaced online. Unidentified cells. Some cells of the anime haven't appeared in episodes and therefore have not been identified. It could be due to set scenes being redrawn, appearing in a commercial, being for a deleted scene, or appearing on screen for a very brief time. Lithuanian dub. The Lithuanian dub is quite possibly the most unknown dub, with little to no information. Based on research, however, the dub might have aired in the mid-late 2000s or the early 2010s. It's unknown if this was a voiceover or a proper dub, as well as how many episodes were dubbed. Konami merch. Alongside the video games, Konami is also responsible for some of the merchandise. One of the earliest pieces of merchandise from them, as well as the most common, is the handmade plush set. It consists of Kuro, one plush with a Gatling gun and one without, me, Maratabi, and Runaway Kuro. There is also a separate big Gatling gun prototype that was shown off at a toy show. Another early piece of merchandise by Konami is the keychain set, and it has the same characters as before. Both sets released in April of 2000. The next month was a set of Kuro cards. 4 different models were released, with 2 for Kuro and 1 for me. This set hasn't been documented very well, and another thing is that the cards weren't for sale, which might be the case. In June, a set of remote control figures were released, consisting of Kuro, me, Maratabi, and Runaway Kuro. Konami released some small Battleborg water squirters of the same characters, most likely in summer of 2000. Only Kuro, Runaway Kuro, and Maratabi have been documented, and Meat has been documented again. The last known set released by Konami is called the Cyborg Kuro-chan Real Figures. It was released in September 2000, and it has the same characters as before. And unfortunately, the only information comes from a catalog included in Game Gyaza. Beta versions of the characters. Last but not least, a few characters have been revised in their final appearances. Kuro was originally going to be a tiger cat, and was originally named Tora-chan, but was changed to a black cat, likely to appeal audiences even more. The grandparents were also originally going to be called Freddy and Carrie. The Tora nickname was possibly repurposed from Matatabi's nickname by the grandparents. The type of Tora-chan contest is also parodied in Extra Battle. Megumi was originally going to be a police officer and was going to be called Nana Hoshino, but was changed into a firefighter, and the name Nana was reused for the lamp robot character. And Kotaro was going to be way darker, being bullied by his classmates and his teacher who insulted his mom. He was going to shoot his teacher for doing so, played with guns and attempted suicide. He was later revised into his more lighthearted version, and the concept of the original Kotaro was most likely reused for Goro. Before this video wraps up, I just want to add a few more things. First of all, we found who's responsible for the bankruptcy, the anime's producer, head of P-Buy, and now a known criminal, Koki Matsura. He had operated several business venues such as K-Factory and Sakurasaku, both companies are now defunct, and promoted a scheme known as Raku Rich Club, which encouraged people to set up personal businesses to sell second-hand goods. He was also involved with a studio known as Iceberg, which launched around the 80s, the same time as Boggy, and shot in 1987, which was the same year Public and Basic was launched. He is now in the United States, somewhere possibly in California, and he has used his business venues, including P-Buy, for money laundering and fraud. My hope is that the guy does get charged for crimes like this. It's so sad to see Kuro be hit by such a bankruptcy like this. And the second thing is that we found out the possible existence of a German dub. The only evidence comes from a Mondo TV page. This dub most likely aired on Your Family Entertainment affiliated channels in the mid to early 2010s. The dub is now unconfirmed until further information comes out. And that's where the video ends. I had quite a lot of fun writing, editing, and recording this video. If there are any mistakes I made with the video, please let me know. And if there's a new update to any of what I mentioned, I will let you all know, since a lot of the fights are still ongoing. I will also link in the fan club Discord server and the Search Team server, and every source will be linked in the Google document in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later.